Alright, hello everyone. We are back here and another Golf Clash tutorial video here. This is going to be for the Tour 9 update. I just briefly wanted to go over club selection real quick. One of the things that I noticed is so far I have only played Tour 4, but I have seen all of the holes one time, well, possibly twice. And one of the things that I just want to suggest here is a few clubs, because I saw some very tight greens in Tour 4, and I can assume that coming to Tour 9, it's really going to make your decision for club selection a little bit more important, to focus on having some of that backspin. So here I am going to put on Guardian for the early stages of this. I really do think it's going to get you out of a couple troublesome tight little greens and give you that extra ability, as well as a few shootouts. If you were to get a few of these new shootouts straight downwind, or downwind at an angle, you're really going to want a backspin shot. So I'm going to highly suggest as well that you have, Goliath B52. You can see I have a maxed B52. So once you start getting that B52 up, as long as the backspin, well, I guess you would have to have a B52 6 or 7. If you don't have that, then just go with the Goliath, and we'll just use, slightly different ring percentages. Instead of, if I went, 10 rings on something, you would go 5 on Goliath. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with B52 because of the accuracy. And switching from Sniper, which I usually use, to Guardian only drops the accuracy 10. So since it's such a minimal adjustment anyway, we're just going to go ahead and go with it. Notice how I have rock on. The length really isn't going to be a big issue here on this tour. So we're just going to keep rock on here for you guys, just so we can emphasize putting the ball in play foremost. What I'm going to do for a little while is split up the videos, and it's looking like this is probably going to be the old hole. Yep. So a little unfortunate to get this one right off the bat, but I will, certainly still add it, and we will probably have a new par 3 on the shootout. So, I will do this video for you guys. But just keep in mind that I'm probably going to do a lot of individual hole stuff for you guys in the foreseeable future. So notice where I'm aiming a little bit more left of center here. I do this intentionally, and the biggest reason is to keep it away from that right side rough. I've seen, some opponents hit that in the past, and you can see I just kind of set my power based on getting it to around this 340 number. I don't try to jam it up. I don't try to do anything like go into that bottleneck ever. If you guys are familiar with my strategy to this hole, I could have backed off and used the katana ball here. Similarly to what I just did. I try to stay away from Titans because I think for the par 3s, unless of course we get the island shootout, having that little extra bit of side spin is going to give us an advantage over our guy using a Titan. So I would kind of, recommend you guys use a katana if you were going to try to hit a similar tee shot. Especially, if you know what your opponent is using, it can just be useful to see. And you see, I'll just try to kind of set my spin by off of trying to gauge the fairway. So, you know, I'm looking for something where it's going to land relatively consistent, and then play the rings here. As you can see, I was getting a little bit tight on time, but I still did a full ring adjustment there. And one of the things that I just try to focus on is finding a nice little groove where the fairway is going to play consistent, because it's extremely hard to play the bounce shot on this hole. You can see, even with all the measures that I took, it was still hard to get it to actually stay on line because the fairway has so many unique bounces. So I just tried to find a spot where it's going to hopefully increase the error amount that I can land. So I'll just try to find kind of like a little groove as to where it'll look like it is basically hitting for about a yard in very similar spots. I'll try to aim for that, and that's what I was trying to do there with the way that I was playing that fairway. Also keep in mind the wind effects. When you have straight downwind, you can see here's my opponent coming in way too deep, and always factor in, you know, your ball guide's going to change. You need to do something. You can see the way I played mine. I kept my ball guide short, and I also went, 9 rings. So the way that you need to play the shot needs to have a little bit different of an approach to make sure that you can get the ball in there tight. So you always need to be thinking, am I downwind, am I into the wind? And you need to keep that in your decision when you go to play rings, especially the higher the wind gets, the more the wind's going to affect it to the side, and you need to do some kind of overcorrection to account for your ball guide compression or you know, expanding. So, oh my goodness, we got the same old hole. So I'm just going to keep this. I was going to split these up, and I was going to do separate videos, but unfortunately 2 old holes. So I'll just keep these together because there's really no added benefit for you guys in this video, unfortunately. But at the very least, you will get to see me play this approach with a Guardian, which could be beneficial to you all. One of the things that I can say about a Guardian is, you know, it does give you the potential to not hit the island shot. So, ooh, did he not get that off? So one of the things you could do is you could come up here, and with the way that the wind is, we could have enough backspin to, you know, in that type of wind, we could land it on the very front edge of the green with backspin and get it relatively close. But that's kind of a shot that you would want to only play dependent upon where your opponent winds up. You never want to go for that risk if your opponent is in there tight, because, you know, playing the island hop shot, you guys have seen me do time and time again, we can get it in there a yard or two every time. So it might be more of a method to play, you know, just dependent upon where your opponent hit it. Say he accidentally hit it in the sand, well, then you could just go behind him with the Guardian and you could just do a full backspin shot. It's only effective into the wind, so the fact that that ball was into the wind so much would have really gave us a opportunity to actually execute that and actually get it somewhere around the hole as well. So a very isolated case, but it is one of the nice things about Guardian. So good luck there, guys. I'm going to try to keep you updated. I'll only start 1 hole videos at a time for a while, get some individual holes for you guys. I understand that you know, these new changes might be new for you guys, so I want to get you guys all set up. So good luck. Catch you guys on the next one.